The whole world is shocked.
Usually, streamers sell for money, but you sell for your life. From snowboarding down the Himalayas to bungee jumping in the Great Rift Valley, or even fry solo rock climbing, you always pull out products to pitch. It's all about that first-hand experience. Viewers in the chat are all saying, fine, I'll buy it, oh cool.
But your big debut
was selling drinks from your failed factory. Right now, you're at the foot of Wugong Mountain. You start your trim with the title, Speedrunning Wugong Mountain. If I don't summit in 90 minutes, I'm giving away huge prizes. Seeing that insane title, viewers flood in to calm men. What a braggart. If you can summit in 90 minutes, I wonder if you even realize what that actually means. This streamer is showing us biodiversity. The viewers are clearly here for the show. The Wugong Trail is 14 kilometers. Even driving takes half an hour, let alone hiking it. Facing the wave of mockery, you don't argue back. You just calmly say, true or false. You'll see for yourselves, and no hesitation. You tap the timer you prepared and start. As the clock starts ticking, Danglin stretches his body. The next second, he starts sprinting. There's a flat stretch at the start. You're naturally feeling great. A light jog is perfect for a warm-up. Soon, the trailhead appears before you. You narrow your eyes and hit the stairs. You start your climb. With the system's beginner running skill, in the blink of an eye, you've climbed a dozen steps. Moving fast, you flip the camera, holding it high to face yourself. He's actually a handsome guy, so young. Look at his form. He must work out. Your form is perfect. After showing your face, the viewer count hits 96, almost at 100. The mockery weakens a bit, replaced by some female viewers, and some bold comments from fake ladies. But nobody thinks you can actually finish this. They're still joking around. You glance at the chat. It's been 2 minutes and 46 seconds. You've already covered nearly 700 meters. You need to hook the audience fast to keep them. That's how the algorithm keeps pushing the trim. 10 minutes later, you haven't stopped, but sweat is already beading on your forehead. Your breathing is starting to get ragged. Your stamina is draining fast. The running skill isn't enough to cover it. Your voice comes through the phone to the chat. Everyone knows you're starting to hit your limit. Your legs feel like jelly. Every step requires massive mental effort. As expected, human limits aren't easily broken. Fearless Heart is a great perk, but you have to survive until it kicks in. Another 2 minutes pass. Sweat stings your eyes. The pain makes it hard to see. Ah, so much for a speedrun. Can't even last 14 minutes. Kid, you need more practice. Don't be a clown. I'm waiting for those prizes. I've already followed your oaths out. Unless you quit the internet, you can't run. The viewer count is climbing higher, but you have no time to track. You step onto a stair. Suddenly your legs give out. You quickly grab the railing, avoiding a total wipeout. You feel like your chest is about to burst, but you take another step. The next second, a warm current floods your body and mind. The system's voice rings out. Post, physique +1. Fearless Heart effect triggered. Your fatigue vanishes instantly. A smile appears on your face. You pull an energy drink from your backpack, and down in one go. After drinking, you face the logo to the camera. When you toss the can, you wave it in front of the lens again, then drop it in the bin. You glance at the chat. Viewers are about to hit 500. You start running again. Not a hint of exhaustion left. You're even slightly faster than before. The viewers are stunned. One drink and he transforms on the spot. A full 10 minutes later, you show no signs of slowing down. The viewer count starts to skyrocket. You ignore the breaking human limits talk. After recovering your stamina, your stride feels incredibly light. In this moment, you feel like you've broken every chain. No need to think about anything. Completely empty-minded. What should be a grueling workout has now become a joy. The viewers in the chat can't help but have one thought. Damn. I'm tired just watching him, let alone you in front of the lens. Even though you're drenched in sweat, you keep going. Even those who came to laugh now have respect for this young guy. He's a real man. Suddenly, Danglin's breathing gets ragged again. The sound gets louder. It reaches every viewer through the mic. Now you get it, right? Viewers stare at the screen, watching Danglin's reaction. Sweat drops fly off him as he runs. His expression isn't as relaxed as before. His facial muscles are tight. Clearly, he's gritting his teeth. Just 2 minutes later, Danglin stops. He pulls another Chunlin drink from his bag and downs it again. The familiar scene repeats. After tossing the can, Danglin's voice rings out. Keep going. The chat fills with question marks. Some new viewers, who don't know the context, get filled in by the veterans. They are in disbelief. Dude, are you Popeye? Is that an energy drink or a stimulant? It's gotta be doping. Drug tet him. In the trim, Danglin is still running. Time ticks away. When the clock hits 53 minutes, Danglin stops once more. He's panting heavily. The sign behind him says Hero's Slope, meaning Danglin has run 9 kilometers. Only 5 kilometers left to the Golden Summit. When Danglin pulls out another drink, the viewer count breaks 1,000. The whole chat is boiling over. Man, you're for real. I'm not joking. Buddy, stop running. Oh cook, you're a beast. Have pie now? Let's compromise. Stop running and give us the prizes. I'll buy it. Just stop. Seriously, stop. Mom, I'm scared. Brother, really? Stop running. Your body can't take it. The altitude is high. The air is thin. You've been pushing yourself for so long. Something bad is going to happen. Post, physique +0.7. As Danglin downs the drink, the system's voice rings in his head. He smiles in satisfaction. The first time Fearless Heart triggers, it gives the most stamina. After that, it starts to decay. That's understandable. Otherwise, just running all day would be enough to hit the human limit. Looking at the scrolling comments, some are shocked, some are genuinely worried. So far, the effect is pretty good. Alright, continuing, Danglin says. To the viewers, his voice isn't a joke anymore. It sounds more like a demon's whisper. No one expected this soft-looking guy, who looks like he should be playing basketball, to be a real man. He does what he says. Tough as out. Whoosh. A blue rocket appears in the chat. It shoots straight up. A 1,000 yuan gift. It adds fuel to the trim's heat. Then, like a switch was flipped. Popularity tickets, balloons, and badges start flooding in. Thanks for the gift, A-Die. The viewers are speechless. They thought Danglin was exhausted, with no time for the chat. They didn't expect him to have the energy to thank them. And his tone is steady. Like he's just taking a stroll. After Danglin speaks, the number of gifts increases significantly. The viewers aren't even jealous. They don't envy this money. Could this kid actually pull it off? Damn, this kid is a beast. Shen Xiaojiang stares at the screen. It shows Danglin running. His eyes widen. He keeps muttering in amazement, as if he were the one running. Coming from a wealthy family, he became a landlord after college.
His hobbies are fishing
And running to lie a retired life early.
very comfortable. He's been running for 3 years.
If he pushes his pace, he can run under 5 minutes. That's top tier among enthusiasts. You know how college students struggle with a 1 kilometer task.
So when he stumbled upon this she trim, he clicked in immediately, wanting to see who this person was.
Who dared to make such big claims? But the more he watched, the less it was a joke. Xian Xiaojiang saw how terrifying Dang Lin was.
He tracked every landmark Dang Lin passed, the time, and the distance. He calculated that even with breaks,
Dang Lin kept a pace of about 6 minutes. A 5 kilometers jog at that level is professional.
but that's on flat ground, and only 5 kilometers. Even the marathon world record is a pace of under 3 minutes.
But Dang Lin is running on a mountain.
Countless stairs, with the altitude rising,
Without professional gear, and having to spare energy for the she trim. In this situation, Dang Lin has held on for nearly an hour, with no sign of slowing down.
If it were him,
His pace would be over 10 minutes.
let alone running for an hour straight.
This stamina, he's not human.
Xian Xiaojiang doesn't think it's the drink. He knows it's hitting the human limit. Adrenaline kicks in, a bit like a final burst. It lasts a very short time.
Once the adrenaline fades,
Endless fatigue will swallow him. He'd need to lie in bed for days.
and this state usually only happens once in a blue moon. Yet Dang Lin hits this limit like he's drinking water. The side effects don't exist for him.
A complete non-human.
Click. In front of the lens, Dang Lin pulls the tab of the can. Xian Xiaojiang holds his breath,
His reason tells him he should be done, but his heart is pounding.
wanting to see the miracle continue. As Dang Lin's calm voice rings out, Xian Xiaojiang feels his blood rush.
So damn see you.
Xian Xiaojiang is so excited. His finger moves to the gift button.
A rocket launches.
Xian Xiaojiang feels it's not enough.
He sends a carnival gift.
The effects fill the screen, and viewers soar. It hits 4,396 viewers.
5,000 is within reach. Thanks for the gift, Xiaojiang.
Hearing Dang Lin, who is clearly younger, thank him, Xian Xiaojiang can't help but grin. Heroes don't ask where they come from.
Dang Lin has won him over. Dang Lin's actions have won over the whole chat. An hour has passed. Dang Lin is still going.
They start telling everyone they know.
Advertising in other streams. There's a beast on Douyin, speedrunning Wugong Mountain. He's about to summit in an hour. This kid is Popeye.
One drink and he's back to full health. I suspect he's an alien.
Who leaked the coordinates? If this were real life,
I'd say brother, you're a beast and light him a cigarette. But this is Douyin.
whatever.
He's the real deal. I thought he was a clown.
Turns out I'm the clown.
This is the she trim a real man should watch. No wonder my wife was giggling at her phone all morning.
Turns out she's in lop.
There aren't many big streamers in the morning. With the influx of viewers,
Silently.
he's entered the top popularity charts.
And his rank is rising fast.
Dang Lin looks at the time, 18 minutes left. He doesn't know how much distance is left.
The altitude, the thin air,
The impact on his body,
from negligible at the start, has now increased 1,000-fold.
with the stamina boost,
It takes longer to hit the limit.
but now, the pressure is immense.
Every 100 meters, the air feels frozen.
He has to use all his strength just to breathe.
His body is swaying.
His vision is going black.
He's getting dizzy.
Dang Lin just wants to let it all go. Collapse and sleep. Forget the system.
Forget the cancer.
Throw it all away.
Just sleep for a while.
Anyway, nobody on the internet knows anyone.
Everything is just talk.
Worst case, he just posts about his depression. Netizens have short memories. Who will remember you in a few days?
And you have the system. There's always a chance.
Worst case, just start over.
Why push so hard?
Weren't you always wanting to lie flat? Dang Lin's eyelids are fighting. The voice in his head telling him to quit is getting louder.
He grabs the railing,
Lifts his head, and grins.
Don't I know myself best?
Listen to advice, get fed.
But I never listen.
Otherwise I wouldn't be in this mess. Advice is great, don't give it next time. The next moment, warmth floods his body.
Post, physique plus 0.5.
That mechanical, emotionless voice sounds Lai Miao Dike to his ears.
Dang Lin regroups.
He pulls out another Chunlin drink.
He downs it.
He stares at the summit, it feels so close.
Golden Summit, here I come.
Dang Lin doesn't forget to tell the chat.
And starts running again. 10 minutes left.
9 minutes, 8 minutes. Dang Lin doesn't stop for a second.
Finally, Dang Lin takes a step
And realizes there are no more stairs.
He looks up. The sign is right there. He's summit.
The timer stops at 86 minutes and 14 seconds.
Dang Lin stands on the peak.
He opens his arms to feel the breeze. His clothes flap in the wind.
Mist swirls around him. With the morning sun hitting him,
He looks like a god.
maybe this is the meaning of life.
Dang Lin lets go of everything.
Ignoring the world around him.
Only the wind is roaring. He's tired, but mentally, it's pure, exhilarating joy.
Life is movement. This isn't just a slogan. Dang Lin truly feels the charm of exercise.
As long as you persist, this freedom, breaking all chains, like a fish in the sea, or a bird in the sky, is beautiful. No wonder people say fitness is addictive.
But this addiction is positive. Right, we guys have this kind of physique.
Grandmas need help on the stairs.
I told you not to keep going. You wouldn't listen. Now look. Everyone's unhappy. My body feels a bit weird.
I'm leaving. Oko, give me back my legs.
Mom's calling me for dinner. This stamina is terrifying.
Rich girls are ecstatic, men are crying. Turns out I'm the only clown on the internet. The comments explode, the gifts never stop. It jumped to 20,000. On Douyin, that's a top tier streamer.
Though not quite at 100k plus.
If he can keep these numbers stable,
He can definitely, in a few years, earn enough to be set for life. But Dang Lin knows. It's because he chose the right niche. It's novel. No one has done this before. Most bloggers in fitness are comedians, doing it for laughs. No one does it for real I am.
Also, it's genuinely shocking, keeping viewers watching for a long time. It triggered the algorithm.
To keep these viewers,
He needs to keep delivering content. The internet is full of opportunities, but cruel.
the capable rise to the top.
Without consistent content,
He'll be yesterday's news soon.
looking at the summit beneath his feet,
Dang Lin smiles.
he hasn't forgotten the point of the Shi trim.
Alright, everyone, settle down. No need to be so shocked.
Speedrunning Wugong Mountain. Isn't it just about having legs?
He barely interacted during the run. Speaking up now.
Makes the high-traffic Shi trim explode again.
Comments pour in. The screen is full of question marks.
I watched the Shi trim and lost my own legs.
Dang Lin leans into the camera.
Watching the screen scroll by,
His fair face in the lens, even without filters,
has no flaws.
the morning light gilds his features. The sudden beauty bomb leaves the viewers speechless. Then they hear Dang Lin replying to comments. How did you do it? Ran up with my legs.
You saw it, didn't you? Sorry, streamer.
I didn't think you were this beastly.
I cursed you 3 or 4 times.
It's fine. No Shi trim without haters.
My biggest strength is not holding grudges. By the way, brother, I remember you. You cursed me 7.5 times, only counting half. Your roommate's call men got blocked. You're so handsome. Why not debut? I can't play basketball. Come on, I'll give you 100k a month. Real fake. Send it back to me. Oh, a guy?
Never mind. Streamer, are you a college student?
College students would be done after 1 kilometer.
This kid looks delicate, but he's funny.
Xian Xiaojiang holds his phone, laughing. He thought he was a quiet guy. Otherwise, the 90-minute Shi trim,
Besides thanking gifts, wouldn't have been so quiet. Now it seems.
This young man always breaks expectations.
The moment Dang Lin's summit,
Besides respect,
he had no other thoughts. Now, interacting, everyone sees his real side.
easygoing and lively. He feels more real and grounded. Even through the screen,
You can feel Dang Lin's image becoming more vivid.
besides being handsome and having great stamina, he's no different from other young people.
A heavy internet surfer too.
Xian Xiaojiang feels a connection.
He's not just a legend. He's a person. This makes him even more likable.
The Shi trim is more than just a feat.
It's a window into a real life. He's just a guy who happens to be a beast, and that's why we lop him.
Memes just roll off his tongue.
The other viewers in the Shi trim felt the same. Many were camping out here,
Just waiting to see him reach the summit.
Logically, they should have left after that, but to their surprise,
Dang Lin's chatting was actually quite fun.
he's handsome and down to earth.
Plus, he's entertaining.
They felt like they were watching a new star rising in the streaming world. Dang Lin scanned the comments,
Noticing no one cared about the energy drink. They were just busy playing around.
He dropped such a huge hint, but Dang Lin sighed, no choice.
He had to handle it himself.
Streamer,
Can you recommend a drink? One that makes me as beastly as you.
Dang Lin made up a calm then,
His tone shifting.
Bro, you've hit the nail on the head.
I actually have just the drink right here.
He opened his backpack again, clattering a dozen Chunlin energy drinks onto the ground.
He brought a whole case. Hauled the entire thing up with him, excluding the 5 he'd already downed. There were 19 left. Snap.
Dang Lin skillfully popped a can with one hand, taking a swig of the Chunlin energy drink. You might not have heard of the brand,
But trust me, it's been a staple in my hometown, Hongcheng, for years. It's got a great reputation.
refreshing, sweet but not cloying. It's packed with beneficial elements.
Taurine, niacin, vitamins B6 and B12.
Perfect for a quick energy boost after a workout.
Truly a must-have for home or travel.
The combo caught the viewers off guard. They were stunned when the link popped up.
Wait, who asked? Making things up, huh? Alright, the cat's out of the bag.
Only brothers here,
No sisters? Am I even human? I'm asking you, am I human or what? Isn't this Yin Kingdom map a bit too short?
good guy, you're a genius at selling.
I'll buy a case to try it out. Watching you climb earlier, seeing you drink bottle after bottle, I got thirsty. Order placed, waiting for shipping.
Dang Lin took another sip, then said, don't worry, everyone, the brand might be small,
But all the paperwork is in order. Production is fully compliant and legal.
every batch is tested before it hits the shelves. Of course, energy drinks are all pretty much the same.
It's a drink, not medicine. Buy it if you need a boost. That's fine. But if you want to speedrun Wugong Mountain, I suggest you don't try to imitate me. The process is actually quite difficult.
Dang Lin didn't even blink. As for how I managed it, just a bit of talent and constant persistence. It took countless drops of sweat.
10 minutes on stage. 10 years of practice off stage, right? Having a system is like that.
Hard workers just need to strive for their goals.
But those with a system have to think about a lot more. How to use the system, how to optimize it. Completing tasks for rewards is really tough. That's real. I'll trust you once. Buying a case to try first.
Hope you don't let me down. Because of your speedrun today,
I'm placing an order to support you regardless.
I've been watching since you started.
Even scolded the streamer a few times.
No money for gifts.
But buying 2 cases of drinks is no problem. I watch your Shi trim without buying anything. You call me brother. I won't pick on you.
But I placed an order.
What should you call me now?
Order notifications kept popping up in the chat.
Live streaming sales are so common now.
Viewers have already built up an immunity.
Sometimes, if a 6DO doesn't have ads or sales,
They actually feel a bit weird. Dang Lin was using his Sapo, so selling was normal.
they were mentally prepared.
But he had charisma and a great look.
He could have relied on his face, yet he chose the hardest path.
Dang Lin seemed calm and collected.
But he'd been exhausted several times during the Shi trim. The way he almost fell, the sweat soaking the steps he passed. How could he not be tired?
And he didn't bait the audience.
He finished the feat of climbing first, then casually promoted his own drink. No shouting or hype, just telling everyone to buy as needed.
In an era of endless tricks and schemes, where streamers just want to make viewers panic buy,
Viewers don't hate the selling itself. They hate the constant screaming about low prices. Or, buy now or it's too late.
those behaviors that insult their intelligence.
Dang Lin's approach earned him their favor. Energy drinks are all about the same.
What's the difference? Might as well spend a little to try it.
Consider it the ticket price for watching the show. Plus, the drink was genuinely cheap. A case of 24 Red Bulls, even on Zio, costs over 100. Dang Lin's case is only 59. Buy 2, get 1 fry.
Basically a steal.
Dang Lin only had one phone,
Holding it up to Shi trim. Alone, no moderator.
no assistant. He kept an eye on the back-end data.
Dang Lin could see through the system interface
That the sales numbers were jumping wildly from 0, 59, 590, 4130, 5841. In just 3 minutes, sales had reached over 9,000, with the novice task minimum of 10,000 in sight. Finally, at the 4-minute mark, sales broke the 10,000 mark. When it hit 10,003, Dang Lin felt a weight lift. The baseline was met. Next, he'd push for even higher sales. Just like that, answering questions, promoting the drink. Half an hour passed. The viewer count had dropped by 10,000, leaving only about 10,000 left. He checked the sales, 41,300. It didn't met the wild jumping from the start. Now, it took 10 or 30 seconds just to nudge the last digit. Interested viewers had already bought in. It looked like the sales would settle around 40,000. Breaking 50,000 would be tough. Dang Lin wasn't surprised. He'd been mentally prepared. He wasn't a professional streamer, had zero experience in this. It was all driven by the Wugong Mountain stunt. Few product varieties, and nobody had heard of the Chunlin brand. Many were still skeptical. Dang Lin's performance was perfect, winning over the crowd, but his personal charm wasn't enough to make them follow his every word. When it came to money, everyone was cautious. A debut with over 40,000 in sales was already quite good. It exceeded Dang Lin's expectations, as long as the novice task was done. As for the final result, he'd do his best and leave the rest to fate. Another 15 minutes of streaming, and it had been stuck at 42,657 for a while. Dang Lin felt a bit of regret, but didn't overthink it, ready to end the she-trim. Suddenly, a level 56 user named Adai asked, "Are you sure the paperwork is complete and compliant? No quality issues?" "Are you sure?" Dang Lin nodded. He remembered this user was a big spender. He'd sent many large gifts during the climb. You could tell from his level. Even though it's a small factory, the production standards are the same as the big ones. Even stricter, of course. The equipment definitely can't compare. We don't have their deep pockets. Dang Lin smiled. He wasn't exaggerating. According to his memories, his father, Deng Chunhua, always said when setting up the plant, things people consume must be safe. Cleanliness is the bare minimum. No room for any sloppiness. The drinks were sold locally. If they did a bad job, they'd be shamed for a lifetime. That's why Chulin's costs stayed high, and they couldn't expand beyond the local area. "Oku," Adai replied. He didn't say much else. The next moment, Dang Lin saw a notification. Adai ordered 200 cases. "Thanks, Adai." Dang Lin thanked him, then followed him back. "I'll support you too." Xiao Gang spoke up, and he ordered 100 cases. Sales jumped to 60,357. Their crazy buying spree worked, leading the other viewers to place orders, sparking a wave of sales. After exactly 1 hour of streaming, he thanked the viewers and hit the End 11 trim button. The sheet trim data appeared on his screen. Over 20,000 new followers. Gift revenue nearly 100,000. After the platform took half, he had nearly 50,000 left, almost matching his sales revenue. This kind of streaming data, anywhere you look, is top tier. Dang Lin, with a bit of anticipation, opened the e-commerce center. The sales figure was quite eye-catching. GMV 70,387, breaking the 70,000 mark. 1,193 cases sold. A perfect ending to this sheet trim, since the factory had closed down. This batch of drinks had zero cost. So, after deducting the platform's 2% operating fee, it was all profit. Compared to other categories with 10 to 20% return rates, the return rate for drinks is low, as long as the sales funds could be withdrawn. Plus the gift revenue. Dang Lin's assets had suddenly topped 100,000. In a short time, Dang Lin didn't have to worry about money anymore. Dang Lin let out a long breath. Streaming really is fast money. 100,000 in a day, who wouldn't be dazed? But compared to that, he cared more about the novice task reward. Dang Lin felt the wind on the summit, found a spot to sit and rest, enjoying the scenery. The view from Wugong Mountain is truly unique. Looking out, the rolling sea of clouds was lush and green. Laya meadow growing in the clouds, breathtaking. But soon, Dang Lin frowned. The system hadn't sent the task completion notification yet. He even suspected the system had crashed. As a system that was quite dim-witted, it wasn't impossible. However, the system remained as usual, giving him no response. Dang Lin dusted himself off, no choice. He had to prepare to head down. He withdrew the gift earnings to his card. With 47,850 yuan and 63 cents in his pocket, he felt incredibly inflated. He spent 70 yuan on a cable car ticket and 15 yuan on a bottle of water. After getting down, Dang Lin returned to the esports hotel he'd been staying at. The travel back meant it was already 5 p.m. Near dinner time, he finished his meal, planning to rest for the night before returning to Hongcheng. He took out his phone and called Xiong Dongyong. After waiting patiently for a dozen seconds, Xiong Dongyong answered. "Xiao Lin," a loud voice came through. "Uncle Xiong," Dang Lin said, "I tried streaming today and sold some drinks. Do you know anyone reliable to come over and pack them up in advance so I can start shipping as soon as I get back tomorrow?" "What's the big deal?" Xiong Dongyong didn't care. "I'll go myself. I just finished eating. Was planning to go for a walk anyway. Consider it a pot meal stroll." For live streaming sales, they'd hired a professional Tim before, spending money on traffic and marketing. Watching their Tim shout on camera. They only sold a few dozen cases per sheet trim. Dang Lin, a fresh college grad, how many could he sell? 10 cases would be pretty good. "No, Uncle Xiong, let's not. Better to find someone else. I'm afraid you'll be too busy. I sold quite a lot this time." "What's there to be too busy about?" Xiong Dongyong smiled. "It'll only take me a few minutes to get there. Less time than the walk itself. And your aunt is here too." "How many could there be?" 50 cases? 100 cases? The kid really thought he was getting old. When the factory was still running, he and Deng Chunhua often did the work themselves, no different from the regular workers. He didn't dare dream of 100 cases, but 50 cases? Half an hour would be more than enough. "I didn't expect you to start selling right away, Xiao Lin." Xiong Dongyong's mouth curled up, his tone filled with pride, as if he were his own son. College kids really are different. Sharp-minded. Much better than those professional teams we hired before. He still held a grudge against them. If it weren't for their sweet talk, maybe the factory could have lasted a while longer. It wouldn't have. Xiong Dongyong stopped mid-sentence. The atmosphere suddenly turned somber. Xiong Dongyong wanted to slap himself. Dang Lin was hep-high about his successful debut. Why did he have to rub salt in the wound again? "Xiao Lin," Xiong Dongyong quickly changed the subject. "How many cases did you sell in total?" "I'll write it down and head to the warehouse to pack them now. There are plenty of boxes left there. No need to spend extra money." 1,193 cases, Dang Lin said. He didn't get overly sad because Xiong mentioned the past, although thinking of Deng Chunhua again made his heart feel a bit heavy. Even if, strictly speaking, he wasn't his son, Xiong Dongyong was still thinking about how to fix his slip-up, so he just said, "That's pretty good. You know, you're just starting out. Getting any sales is impressive. Not to mention selling so many. If it were me, I wouldn't be able to say a word. Probably wouldn't sell a single case." Xiong Dongyong said a lot of praise just to make Dang Lin feel better. But soon, he realized something was wrong. Wait, how many cases? A snap sound came from the other end. Xiong Dongyong was smoking, his tone uncertain. Shaolin, did I hear that right? No, Dang Lin said with a smile. 1,193 cases in total. But I ran a promotion. Buy 2, get 1 free. The actual number to pack is more than that. I'll send the detailed data to your phone in a bit. Over 1,000 cases? Xiong Dongyong, who already had a loud voice, raised his volume even higher. Shaolin, you're not kidding me, are you?
Why would I joke about this?
Dang Lin said helplessly. That's true. Xiong Dongyong slapped his forehead. Uncle was just too excited. Shaolin, you really sold over 1,000 cases in one she trim? Ding dong, without extra words. He sent the sales screenshot to Xiong Dongyong. 1,193 cases. When Xiong Dongyong saw the data, he couldn't calm his excitement for a long time. He kept muttering, good, good, good. After a while, Xiong Dongyong asked in astonishment, Shaolin, how did you do it? This one she trim had more sales than our factory had in a day. Before Dang Lin could answer, he muttered to himself, over 1,000 cases in one she trim. 3 streams a day would be 3,000 cases. That's 90,000 cases a month. Dang Lin wanted to explain to Xiong Dongyong that it didn't work like that. But hearing Xiong Dongyong's excitement turn into a choked up voice, he chose to stay silent. Xiong Dongyong opened his mouth several times, but couldn't get the words out. Only heavy breathing remained. Dang Lin guessed what he was thinking. Uncle Xiong, don't worry, I'm not as fragile as you think. The past is in the past, but people have to move forward. My father wouldn't want us to keep dwelling on the pain. Xiong Dongyong lit another cigarette. Shaolin, you're right. If only you'd come back sooner.
With your help.
Our factory wouldn't just survive, it would thrive. Dang Lin said, life is unpredictable. Xiong Dongyong sighed with deep emotion. It all turned into a long sigh. I've lived so long, yet I'm not as clear-headed as you, a college student. When you reach my age, you'll understand. Dang Lin replied softly.
At your age?
Xiong Dongyong couldn't help but laugh, the knot in his heart loosening. You brat. I wish. But flowers don't bloom forever, and good times don't last. He was finally at ease. It seemed Dang Lin was telling the truth, not pretending. He was much stronger than he thought. Under major setbacks, people are either crushed or they mature under the pressure. In Xiong Dongyong's eyes, Dang Lin was clearly the latter. So uncle, go find someone to help pack. Don't worry about the cost. I'll transfer the money to you. Dang Lin said proactively. It's just over 1,000 cases. My aunt and I can handle it. Xiong Dongyong still wanted to insist, but his phone received 20,000 from Dang Lin. Xiong Dongyong paused, then laughed. Alright, uncle, I'll listen to you. There are a few people who used to pack for the factory. I'll call one over. We'll get it done in one night. They chatted a bit more. After Dang Lin hung up the phone, he put it down. Suddenly, the system's voice echoed in his mind. Asterisk ding. Not a task complete. Asterisk. System, evaluating. Dang Lin perked up. System, if it's just almost, what can I do? Just make do with it. As long as it's not a total failure. Task evaluation complete. Asterisk, this novice task rating is asterisk. A light blue screen flashed with text. Dang Lin saw this, smacked his lips. A level 1 rating is not bad. He didn't boast that he'd make every task perfect. That's almost impossible. Even with the system, you have to take it one step at a time. You can't reach the sky in one leap. Sending novice task rewards. The system voice sounded again, followed by a series of sounds, ringing in Dang Lin's mind. Total sales, 7387. Obtain 70 sales points. Task reward, 500 sales points. Mall access unlocked. Post obtained Fearless Star Badge permanent. Post obtained Golden Lungs. Your lung function will be fully enhanced. Post obtained Advanced Skill Book. Can upgrade any skill to advanced level. Post obtained 30 days of lifespan. Dang Lin looked at the text on the screen. At this moment, anticipation turned into surprise. The task rewards were a bit too generous. Relying on the Fearless Heart, he was able to speedrun Wugong Mountain and complete the novice task. Now that he had permanent access, it meant as long as Dang Lin persisted, he had infinite stamina. The full enhancement of his lungs meant his athletic ability was boosted. Breathing is the foundation of exercise. Strong lung capacity means every breath provides more oxygen to the whole body, gaining explosive power and endurance far beyond his peers. Under the same conditions, Dang Lin was invincible. He didn't feel the lung enhancement directly, but Dang Lin could notice his breathing frequency had clearly dropped. Every breath was long and steady. In this state, if he were to run Wugong Mountain again, he was absolutely certain he could create even more astonishing numbers. Not to mention the Advanced Skill Book. He could upgrade any skill to advanced. His basic running skill, he already had deep experience with it. The theoretical and practical knowledge he possessed, it's enough to crush most amateur runners. So professional, even the beginner level is this strong. If this is the beginner level, won't the advanced level be earth-shattering? What surprised Dang Lin the most was, he hadn't guessed wrong about the 30-day lifespan. He bet right. The system has the power to heal him completely. Now she has 100% certainty. It can even grant extra lifespan, so cancer shouldn't be a problem either. It seems the system intends for me to take the path of sports. Dang Lin squinted and pondered. From the initial beginner rewards to most of the rewards now, they have all been strengthening his body, enhancing athletic ability. Perhaps it's just a coincidence. Dang Lin shook his head. The system won't answer any of his questions. Everything needs to be figured out on his own. She doesn't resist it either. In fact, after one livestream, she started to lie the feeling of exercising. She found the meaning of life in the process of exercising. Dang Lin didn't think too much. He silently recited in his heart. Open the system store. I wonder what kind of treasures are in the system store. The light blue screen rippled like water as if turning a page. The store appeared before Dang Lin. The interface is very simple, with only 2 sections. At the very top is a large turntable. It's covered with densely packed product categories. Dang Lin stared at it. His breathing gradually became rapid. Gene repair fluid, master level skill books, 365-day lifespan, posture optimization. Any single one is a product with a fatal temptation for Dang Lin. Getting any one of them would be a huge profit. It's just that the prices are clearly marked below. A single spin on the turntable costs 100 sales points. 10 spins cost 1,000 sales points. You have to know, excluding system rewards, relying on system sales, he only has a total of 70 points. That's equivalent to selling 1,000 yuan worth of goods. To earn 1 point, a single spin alone requires 100,000 yuan in sales. 10 spins require 1 million yuan. This immediately made Dang Lin calm down. Looking at his 570 sales points, he resisted the urge to try a single spin, hoping for a miracle. He knows his own luck all too well. The goddess of luck has never favored him. She even left a high heel print on his face. Points are hard to come by. Let's wait and see first. Dang Lin struggled to move his gaze downward. The word special in the next section was shining brightly. There was a line of small text below. 10 spins on the wheel refresh the items in the special section. The special section only has 1 item placed there. Integrated drone DZI with super long battery life. Can work continuously for 168 hours. Dual wind and solar charging. Comes with a 720-degree panoramic ultra clear camera. Waterproof and dustproof. Automatically follows after binding. priced at 520 sales points. Although it's a special offer, and the name is very ordinary, but the functions of this drone are enough to crush all drone brands on the market. Battery life for 7 consecutive days of work, supports wind and solar energy, and auto-locks onto the target. Danglin was excited. An absolute live streaming weapon. It can provide stable streaming in any scenario. It's just that I just finished complaining, and the store refreshed a drone right after. Danglin rested his chin on his hand and thought silently. System, I know you're there. Stop being silent. Don't hide inside and stay quiet. I know you're there. You have the nerve to eavesdrop. Why don't you have the nerve to speak? Speak up. Silence. Danglin rubbed his face and gave up. You have to say, 520. This number is actually quite auspicious. Danglin hesitated for a moment, but he still painfully chose to redeem it, deducting 520 sales points. Drone redeemed successfully. The item is stored in the system warehouse. Can be retrieved at any time. As soon as Danglin finished speaking, he felt his right hand sink. A palm-sized drone appeared in his hand. It also had a controller. The drone was matte black all over, full of texture. The triangular appearance was full of combat vibes. It looked more like a miniature fighter jet. The controller was not much different from a regular game controller. Also black. It just had a square screen in the center. The screen suddenly lit up. Bind now? Confirmed. The red dot at the top of the screen emitted a glow, enveloping Danglin's face. A moment later, a 3D model of Danglin's face appeared on the screen. Then a prompt popped up saying binding was complete. Danglin studied it for a while. He realized the drone's controls were no different from ordinary ones. It had all the functions a drone should have, plus an extra automatic follow mode. Just select it, and it will follow Danglin's needs. Stay at a certain location, or automatically follow Danglin. Danglin got his hands on a new toy. He was just about to try it out. In his mind, the system's voice rang out again. Task issued. Host, please sell all the remaining Spring Forest functional drinks in the warehouse. The task will be graded based on the time taken by the host. Rewards will be issued. Do you accept? Danglin's eyes lit up. The rewards for the rating alone were already so generous. If he could sprint for a higher rating, what would the rewards be like? Danglin couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. He immediately opened the attribute panel. Sales points are back to square one. Lifespan increased from the initial 127 days to 160, an increase of 33 days. You have to know he went back and forth live streaming, and 2 days had passed, excluding the 30 days rewarded by the system. It means he gained 5 extra days of lifespan himself. It seems that physical fitness enhancement also extends lifespan, even with cancer. Danglin's eyes flickered as he pondered. He triggered the fearless heart effect 5 times while climbing, adding 4 points of stamina for him. The remaining 4.8 seems to be because his lungs were strengthened. That makes sense. Life lies in movement. Physical fitness is enhanced, even if it can't cure the cancer. Extending his lifespan is definitely not a problem. Danglin immediately closed the system interface. The task naturally had to be accepted. It's just that this time the rating isn't based on sales, but the faster the time to sell the drinks in the warehouse, the higher the rating. Time is money. He needs to plan his second live stream carefully. He will accept the task when the timing is right. To save some time, he left the esports hotel, found an open space, took the drone out of the system warehouse. It took half an hour. Danglin finally mastered the use of the drone. Only then did he return, feeling satisfied. Suddenly, the system's voice rang out. Host, you haven't accepted the task for a long time. The system has automatically accepted it for you. The loophole Danglin just found was ruthlessly plugged by the system, and because it had just given Danglin generous rewards, the system had a short period of immunity from being scolded. But at this moment, the treaty was torn up by Danglin. The task was suddenly accepted. It completely disrupted Danglin's original plan. It seems the process needs to be accelerated. Danglin put the drone back into the system warehouse. He walked quickly to the hotel, opened his computer and downloaded the morning's livestream footage. Used Jennying to edit the climbing footage. Added a lengthening fin to, then added a piece of BGM. It didn't require much technical skill. It took less than half an hour. A 1-minute finished 6DO was ready. Exported it to Douyin and added a title. Easily conquered Wugong Mountain. Published immediately. Not everyone has time to watch live streams. Once missed, they won't see it again. But videos are different. They have a wider reach. To boost his next live stream sales, expanding his influence, getting more people into the live stream room is the key. After doing all this, Danglin started searching on Douyin. The commotion he caused during the day's live stream was significant, so there were already some clips circulating. Likes were in the thousands and tens of thousands. The data was great, and the comments were exploding. Many people were questioning it, thinking it was impossible, while the viewers who watched the live stream were refuting them. How could a 6DO here be faked? The two sides started arguing, undoubtedly taking the heat to a new level. Just in time, Danglin, as the original creator, posted the 6DO, adding fuel to the fire. He glanced at the time, 10:30 p.m. Danglin took a shower and went straight to bed. Since crossing over, it's only been 3 days. Basically, he hasn't stopped, working non-stop. Not to mention the extremely energy-consuming act of climbing. Although he has a fearless heart badge, he really needs sleep to replenish his stamina and eliminate mental fatigue. He slept until 8:30 the next morning. Danglin, feeling refreshed, stretched his body. The corners of his mouth lifted involuntarily. The sleep quality last night was extremely high. Most of it was deep sleep, since Danglin had memories, except for his innocent childhood. After having such sleep, he had never felt so refreshed. The whole person was full of vitality. This is the spirit a young person should have. Lie the morning sun, everything is full of hope. After washing up, the starving Danglin went downstairs, found a breakfast sop, devoured 6 baskets of steamed buns, 3 tea eggs, 2 fried dough sticks, and 2 bowls of soy milk. Only then did he burp with satisfaction. Such an appetite stunned the owner and the customers. Appetites in the South are generally lower. A normal person has 1 basket of steamed buns, and a bowl of soy milk is enough. When have they ever seen such a scene? They were all dumbfounded. When paying, the owner even gave Danglin a thumbs up. Young man, good appetite. Being able to eat is a blessing. Danglin smiled. He didn't feel like he had no appetite. If you can't eat anything, that's because you haven't worked hard enough. When you work on a construction site all day, engaged in heavy manual labor, your eyes turn red from hunger. You wish you could eat a whole cow. Carrying the water the owner gave him, he returned to the hotel. Danglin sat in the esports chair, opened Douyin. The EP was actually lagging a bit when opened. It buffered for a while. The Douyin interface finally showed the message section. The 99+ red notification was extremely eye-catching. Clicked on the 6DO posted last night. As expected, it exploded, and it was a huge hit. Views, 15.57 million, and it was still rising rapidly. Every time he refreshed, the view count jumped by tens of thousands. Follower count increased by nearly 20,000 overnight. The Sapotsa went from 1,000 followers at the start to 48,381 now. It was about to break the 50,000 mark. Danglin opened the comments section to read. The 6DO played automatically. His figure stood at the entrance of Wugong Mountain. The next moment, he sprinted out, crossing step after step. The scene flashed by. In the blink of an eye, he was drenched in sweat, panting while holding the railing. But after drinking a bottle of the drink, he was fully revived. The powerful narration made people's blood blood boil, repeating the cycle. When he was just one step away from the golden summit, the sound of a heartbeat echoed, and subtitles appeared. Is there no way to achieve it? Following that, the song Children of the Dark started playing. Dang Lin drank the beverage in one gulp, set off again, sweat falling like raindrops, standing on the mountaintop, enjoying the breeze, clouds, and sunset glow. Time froze, and the 6DO ended.
Everyone stood up in awe.
It made my blood boil in the middle of the night. I woke my dad up, made him run 5 kilometers before I was satisfied.
Saved it to burn off my own fat.
90-minute speedrun of Wugong Mountain. Pace kept at 6. Who knows the gold content of this?
Is this even human?
Last time I climbed Wugong Mountain, it took me 8 hours. I lay in bed for a whole week after coming back to recover. She took 90 minutes. Thanks to Doeen for letting me know everyone is a genius. Only I am a loser.
He even live streamed while climbing, and carried a whole case of drinks. That's at least 10 pounds.
He didn't even try to act. People these days, for the sake of sales,
will do anything. You can tell with your knees that it's impossible.
Yet there's so much drama. Speechless. Everyone is drunk, but you are sober, right? You're the smartest, right? Ask you if 13.8 or 13.1 is bigger, and you'll be honest. Because of this 6DO, I placed an order in the showcase to support you. The comments were generally positive, although there were a few questioning voices, but Dang Lin didn't take it to heart. There are trolls everywhere.
The traffic on this 6DO was higher than he imagined.
It was truly an unexpected joy.
When he saw many people commenting about placing orders, Dang Lin opened his back end.
Sales increased by more than 50,000. Dang Lin opened it and saw the showcase. 896 items sold overnight through one 6DO.
Sales were 2/3 of the live stream.
The reach of a 6DO is indeed much larger than a live stream, and the influence of the 6DO will continue. As long as it's not taken down, there might be subsequent orders in the showcase. Live stream content spreads through videos, and the popularity gained by the 6DO will feed back into the live stream.
The two complement each other.
Dang Lin's confidence was boosted with this hit 6DO as a foundation.
Plus the series of rewards he obtained.
He is no longer who he was. He has more confidence in hitting the tasks higher.
Rating.
For there to be light tomorrow, both lop and hate must be hidden.
The phone rang suddenly.
Dang Lin listened to the ringtone. It was set by the original owner. After suffering a series of blows,
he was devastated.
He didn't want to talk to anyone, but he hoped others could see through some details to discover the fragility under his disguise.
A pretentious and awkward youth.
That is exactly what he was like. Dang Lin couldn't do anything about it.
He could only lie well in this body, and let it shine as it should.
The thought flashed by. Dang Lin focused his attention on the screen again. A strange number. He answered silently, but didn't speak. Having years of experience with spam calls, she had already developed a skill. Identify by voice. If the voice sounds wrong, hang up immediately.
Afraid that speaking would give them hope, and they would call one after another.
Hello? May I ask if this is Mr. Dang Lin?
A sweet female voice came from the other end.
A real person? Dang Lin raised an eyebrow. Who is this?
I am a staff member from the Wugong Mountain scenic area.
My name is Tian Pei. It's Lithus. Did you go hiking and sightseeing here yesterday morning and started a live stream? Tian Pei asked.
Dang Lin asked, is there a problem? He had to fill in his ID and phone number when buying tickets.
It's normal for Wugong Mountain to have his information.
No, please don't misunderstand.
Tian Pei explained.
We noticed that your hiking live stream yesterday had a great response.
The popularity was also very high. Calling you this time is to thank you for promoting Wugong Mountain for us, letting the vast number of netizens appreciate the beauty of our Wugong Mountain. After your live stream yesterday,
the number of bookings here has increased significantly. Tian Pei's voice carried a hint of a smile.
It should be the influence you brought. So, are you planning to pay me a promotion fee?
Dang Lin was silent for a moment and said, no.
Tian Pei was completely stumped, no longer as fluent as before.
Our leaders also paid attention to this matter.
Seeing that your stamina is very good, they want to invite you to participate in our Wugong Mountain cross-country race.
What do you think?
Dang Lin understood. In the era of traffic, Wugong Mountain also wants to grab this wave of traffic
and cooperate with him to promote the scenic area.
Is there a promotion fee? Another long pause. Tian Pei then spoke. Our cross-country race has prize money.
If you can place in the rankings, I think with your stamina, climbing to the top in less than 90 minutes, you should be able to get a good result.
So there is no promotion fee, then?
Dang Lin was straightforward.
Tian Pei hesitated for a moment, but still struggled to reply.
Currently, I haven't heard the leaders mention anything about a promotion fee.
Then I'll consider it.
Dang Lin prepared to hang up.
He was furious. He was always the one taking advantage of others. How could he be the one being taken advantage of? Asking him to run a cross-country race without paying him? How is this any different from taking Dang Lin's life?
The scenic area is malicious. It's chilling.
Mr. Dang, please wait. Tian Pei heard Dang Lin's perfunctory attitude and became a bit anxious.
She quickly called out to him. The leader gave her a death order. She must invite him over.
With his one live stream, the terrifying traffic that could make Wugong Mountain's popularity soar. With Dang Lin in the cross-country race, it would definitely be able to build awareness.
I will go and apply to the leader
to see if we can allocate a portion of special funds as your remuneration. What do you think? Tian Pei suggested.
Dang Lin grinned. What money?
Actually, it's not very important. Your kind invitation is more of a sign of respect, right?
Tian Pei didn't expect this handsome young man to have more tricks up his sleeve than a fishing net.
Then how much respect do you think is appropriate?
I don't care. It depends on your sincerity.
Just give a symbolic amount.
Tian Pei rolled her eyes.
She wouldn't believe Dang Lin's nonsense if it were really symbolic. Who knows if Dang Lin would perform a Sichuan opera stunt on the spot?
Oh cool, I understand.
Tian Pei smiled reluctantly.
I'll go talk to the leader first. I'll call you back when there's news.
Dang Lin hung up the phone in a good mood.
As for whether the other party was happy or not, that was not within his consideration.
He hadn't forgotten about the 800 plus extra boxes in the back end.
So he called Xiong Dongyong.
9 a.m. in Hongcheng.
Xiong Dongyong sat in the breakfast stop, looking exhausted. He rubbed his waist and sighed to his wife beside him.
I have to admit, I'm getting old. How many did we pack and I'm already done for? Aunt Lee's full name is Li Fengwan.
She has a melon-seed face with slightly high cheekbones,
adding a bit of a shark-tongued vibe. She glared at Xiong Dongyong. If I had known, we should have listened to Lin and hired someone to pack. But now, the two of us worked all night,
and there are still 300 plus boxes left to pack.
Isn't it because we wanted to save some money?
Xiong Dongyong smiled sheepishly.
Lin, his father is gone now. We are the only elders he has left. He is still young. He has to think about marriage and children in the future. Save a little where we can. Save.
Li Fengwan raised her voice. We won't save much money, but we'll ruin our health.
What will you do then?
Xiong Dongyong looked at his wife and shook his head. Her mouth is unforgiving.
But you were the one packing the hardest last night. Li Fengwan's eyes widened, about to explode. Xiong Dongyong's phone rang, he said.
Speak of the devil. Xiong Dongyong pointed at the caller ID.
Li Fengwan also quieted down. Hello, Lin. Xiong Dongyong answered the phone. Uncle Xiong, have the 1,000 plus boxes been packed? Dang Lin asked. Xiong Dongyong's expression was a bit unnatural. Almost. I reckon we'll be done by the end of the morning.
That's perfect, Uncle Xiong. Please tell the packers. I sold some more on the showcase. Ask them to stay a bit longer and pack the rest.
Xiong Dongyong's face turned pale. More? But hearing that they sold on the showcase, he breathed a sigh of relief. How many boxes sold? It's just a small thing. 896 items in total. The flesh on Xiong Dongyong's face trembled. After hanging up the phone, he silently lit a cigarette. Then found the packer's number in his contacts. Dialed it. Hello, Mr. Deng. We've already cleared it with our management. If you're willing to participate, we'll pay you a fee of 150,000. Of course, that's before tax. Tian Pei was trying her absolute best on the call, hoping to secure Dang Lin's commitment quickly. It took less than an hour in total. 150,000 is really not a low price. Even before tax, Dang Lin was quite pleased. That's as much as my sales from the last 2 live streams. Tian Pei thought Dang Lin was being sarcastic, so she quickly explained. Mr. Deng, 150,000 might indeed be a bit low for you, but this is the best offer we can possibly make. Our management has also guaranteed us that if you decide to live stream later on, we will fully cooperate with you. Why don't you consider it? Dang Lin interrupted Tian Pei. No need to consider. I agree to join the cross-country race. Before Tian Pei called, Dang Lin had specifically looked it up online regarding the Wugong Mountain International Race. He was shocked by what he found. This race has actually been held 7 times already. This is the 8th edition. He'd never even heard of it. How obscure is it? 7 years and not a single influencer tried to leech traffic. The race format is actually quite professional, not just gender separated, but also divided into individual and team categories. They're split into 100 kilometers, 56 kilometers, 33 kilometers, and 13 kilometers, 4 levels in total. No wonder the scenic area is spending so much to get him. 150,000 is higher than the winner's prize money. You have to realize, for the 100 kilometers individual race, the Trempion only gets 12,000, and that's before tax too. He's getting more than 10 times the Trempion's prize. You agree? Tian Pei was pleasantly surprised. She had prepared so many arguments, but they were no longer needed. Her eyes were filled with confusion. Did she really misunderstand Dang Lin? He isn't the type to only care about money. Just as he said, he just wanted some respect. Asking for a fee to promote is perfectly reasonable. So, when would you have time to come sign the contract? Tian Pei asked softly, feeling guilty for misjudging him. Anytime this afternoon works. I'm still near Wugong Mountain. How about 2:30 p.m.? I can drive over to pick you up. Is that okay? Tian Pei was afraid Dang Lin might change his mind. Let me add you on social media first. We can discuss the details online. Send me your location while you're at it. I'll call you when I arrive this afternoon. After a few more words, Dang Lin hung up the phone. A friend request from Tian Pei was already there. Dang Lin accepted it casually. Tian Pei immediately sent a smiley face, then said, Teacher Deng, see you this afternoon. Dang Lin sat in his gaming chair and opened the official website for the race again. He reviewed the schedule once more. It's held on the eve of the Mid-Autumn Festival, September 1st, which is 3 days from now. Dang Lin pondered for a moment, then called Xiong Dongyong again. He told him he wouldn't be back so soon. Packing and shipping would have to rely on Xiong Dongyong's help. Xiong Dongyong agreed immediately and told him not to worry. Just focus on his live streaming. After the call, Dang Lin tapped his fingers on the armrest, thinking about how to make the race livestream more exciting, to successfully clear out all the warehouse stock. Before he knew it, it was 2:20 p.m. Teacher Dang, we're downstairs at the gaming hotel. It's a black Buick GL8, license plate. Dang Lin looked at the message from Tian Pei. He packed up simply and headed downstairs. Since he had to stay a few more days, he extended his stay for 3 more days. He haggled for a while and saved $100. Reaching the ground floor, he saw the Buick GL8. The door opened, and a girl about 1.6 meters tall, with a bun hairstyle, stepped out. Teacher Dang. The girl ran up to Dang Lin. Her eyes were large and bright, curving into crescents when she smiled. She was as sweet as her voice. Even in the blue and green scenic staff uniform, it couldn't hide Tian Pei's charm. Tian Pei nodded with a bright smile. Dang Lin was sizing up Tian Pei, and she was doing the same. He's really handsome. Tian Pei thought to herself. There's no shortage of handsome guys online, but that's usually with makeup and filters. In reality, natural-born handsome guys are rare. Someone like Dang Lin, without any touch-ups, with almost no flaws, is even rarer. If a colleague looked like Dang Lin, Tian Pei felt she'd be much more motivated at work. It's too hot out here. Let's get in the car and talk. Tian Pei shifted her gaze from Dang Lin's face, then suggested. Oku, Dang Lin replied. He got into the back seat of the GL8 with her. He sat in the right side passenger seat. Tian Pei sat next to Dang Lin. Brother Wang, let's go. Tian Pei told the driver, then took out a bottle of water and handed it to Dang Lin. Teacher Dang, have some water. Thanks. Dang Lin took the water. It was still cold. He took a sip, then looked at Tian Pei. Please, no teacher doc. Just call me by my name. Hearing others call him teacher always felt a bit awkward. In his mind, teachers are sacred. It had nothing to do with his lack of education in his past life. Forget about teaching and nurturing. At the very least, they should be role models. Only those with high moral character deserve the title. Teachers of art don't fall under this requirement. Even though Dang Lin said that, Tian Pei didn't follow through. This is a 6AI guest specifically requested by management. Must treat him well and not be negligent. After the car had been driving for a while, Tian Pei suddenly remembered something. Hey, Teacher Dang, didn't you bring your luggage? We've arranged accommodation for you. The accommodation is up on the mountain. Of course, not every participant gets an arrangement. The environment isn't as good as a 5-star hotel, but it's much better than the gaming hotel you're in. Facing Dang Lin's confused look, Tian Pei said with some annoyance, I forgot to tell you, the car hasn't gone far yet. Should we go back and get it? Forget it. The gaming hotel is fine. Dang Lin hesitated but declined. The condition for his bargain was that he couldn't trek out early. Even if he did, they wouldn't refund the room fee. Looks like I really misunderstood him. Seeing Dang Lin refuse, Tian Pei became even more convinced. Someone who has a better option, but refuses just to stay at a gaming hotel. How could he be someone who only cares about money? He perfectly fits her image of a handsome guy. Dang Lin's lips moved. If you really must arrange it, helping me reimburse the gaming hotel fee is the same. Wugong Mountain Scenic Area Office. The car stopped steadily. The electric door opened slowly. Teacher Dang, we've arrived. Tian Pei told Dang Lin, then stepped out first. After Dang Lin got out, Tian Pei led the way while saying, when you were coming, I had already told the Manhwa. He's waiting for you in his office. Dang Lin looked at the office building in front of him. It looked a bit simple, more like a neighborhood committee office. A large open space, and a few 7-Eleven to read buildings in between. He nodded immediately, and followed Tian Pei into the middle building. They went up to the second floor, and arrived at a door with a Deputy General Manhwa sign. Tian Pei knocked on the door. After hearing a response, she pushed the door open. A middle-aged man with black-rimmed glasses sat at the desk. Tian Pei whispered, General Manhwa, Teacher Dang is here. The middle-aged man looked high and stood up. Please come in. Tian Pei gestured for Dang Lin to enter. As soon as Dang Lin entered, the middle-aged man came over to shake his hand. He enthusiastically led him toward the sofa. Mr. Dang, welcome to Wugong Mountain. I'm Manhwa, the Deputy General Manhwa. Please sit. Tian Pei didn't wait for the man to ask. She had already poured 2 cups of tea and placed them before them, then stood to the side, listening to their conversation with wide eyes. After sitting down, Manhwa looked at Dang Lin and said kindly, Mr. Dang, you look very young. Are you still a university student? Just graduated in July. Dang Lin felt a bit bored, only wanting to sign the contract quickly and get the money. He gave a casual, polite reply. Manhwa, you look very young too. Being a general Manhwa in your early 30s, you're a role model for our generation. Wan Shunhua's smile grew even wider.
Early 30s? I'll be 50 after this year.
Wan Shunhua continued. Indeed, heroes come from the youth. To have such achievements on the internet at such a young age, the future belongs to you young people.
Speaking of which, thank you for promoting Wugong Mountain.
Wan Shunhua gave a thumbs up. Compared to those chaotic live streaming contents, using hiking as a starting point for your trim,
I think it's excellent and positive.
It promotes our country's beautiful landscapes and guides everyone to focus on exercise. It aligns perfectly with our scenic area's philosophy. Truly positive energy. Not at all, not at all. Dang Lin held his teacup. His thoughts had already drifted elsewhere.
To have such awareness at this age,
and to be so calm and composed. His future is limitless.
Young people today are truly talented.
Wan Shunhua also noticed Dang Lin was a bit distracted. Perhaps because he was reserved or introverted.
He stopped talking and got straight to the point.
It's precisely because of you, Mr. Dang, that your live stream content is so healthy and positive that I told little Tian
to invite you here no matter what.
To participate in our cross-country race. Wan Shunhua said, looking at Tian Pei to the side, telling her to bring the prepared contract.
Oh cool.
Tian Pei turned and left.
Not long after,
she brought the fresh, warm contract to Dang Lin and Wan Shunhua. 3 copies in total. Dang Lin lowered his head to read. Wan Shunhua had already read it several times, so he just sat to the side, drinking tea and waiting patiently.
Being cautious in everything is never a bad thing. Some young people are too reckless,
which Wan Shunhua doesn't lie.
The only sound in the office was the rustling of pages.
After carefully reading the contract terms,
Dang Lin found no issues.
There were no strange clauses,
no traps set, no word games.
Dang Lin to participate in the Wugong Mountain race. Cooperate with the organizers for promotion. Be of 150,000 before tax. They won't withhold taxes, and it will be paid in 3 installments to Dang Lin's Oatsao.
50,000 after signing the contract.
Another payment after confirming participation.
And the final balance after the race ends.
Damn, influencers really make good money.
Dang Lin couldn't help but shake his head.
In his past life, he only ever gave money to scenic areas.
He never earned any, just by participating and promoting.
150,000 is in his pocket. That's faster than robbing a bank. No wonder the quality of girls at the foot massage parlor is getting worse.
Wait, I'm an influencer too.
Alright, no problems here.
Dang Lin put down the contract.
Since there are no problems,
let's sign it directly, Wan Shunhua said. Dang Lin took the pen from Tian Pei and quickly signed his name on it.
A bold, sweeping signature. Wan Shunhua also signed his name on behalf of the company, then stamped it with the official seal. After signing, Wan Shunhua stood up to shake Dang Lin's hand. I won't keep you any longer. I'm getting old,
and I can't really relate to you young people.
You probably feel awkward with me here.
Let little Tian handle the rest for you.
Not at all. Dang Lin changed his previous perfunctory attitude. Manhwa, you're still full of charisma.
You're nothing like an old man. Your life experience is so rich. Every word you say is like gold.
It's enough for me to learn a lot.
I'd love to learn more from you.
Why would I feel awkward?
This display of face-changing skill
not only left Wan Shunhua stunned, but Tian Pei was also dumbfounded. Wan Shunhua was slightly taken aback.
Then he realized why Dang Lin's attitude had changed so drastically.
This kid doesn't release the hawk until he sees the rabbit. Only after signing the contract and everything was settled did he let his guard down.
Wan Shunhua laughed out loud,
looking at this overly young, pretty boy influencer
who acted like an old pro.
It really created a strong sense of dissonance. After a few more polite exchanges, Wan Shunhua watched Dang Lin's departing back,
feeling a slight sense of emotion.
He just hoped Dang Lin wouldn't let him down. He had to overcome a lot of opposition for this, and he had to pry the 150,000 feet from the old guy's mouths.
If the results aren't good,
he'll be in for a lot of criticism. Of course, he wasn't worried, because the suggestion first came from Tian Pei, whose father is one of the scenic area's leaders. Under the scorching sun, Tian Pei stared at Dang Lin's face for a long time. Although his behavior just now shocked her for the whole year, she still discussed the next steps with Dang Lin. First, we'll shoot a few short videos for the scenic area. They'll be posted on our official Oatsao. Teacher Dang, you're okay with that, right? Then there's the race itself. We have 4 race segments in total. Which group are you planning to join?
Tian Pei asked cautiously.
If it were before, she would have recommended the 56 kilometers or 33 kilometers, but now she was afraid Dang Lin would raise his price. 33 kilometers, you should be fine with that, right? No need to chase for a ranking.
If you're short on time,
the 13 kilometers for fun is also fine. She was about to say something else when a staff member suddenly came up to her. He whispered a few words. Tian Pei's eyes widened as she confirmed it several times. Then she came back to Dang Lin, no longer as energetic as before,
and brought him some not so good news. Dang Lin's 6DO continued to ferment, naturally attracting a lot of attention.
Traffic-hungry trolls came running. Marketing accounts and self-media were the first to stir up controversy.
Causing conflict is their most skilled method. Only then can they maximize traffic.
90 minutes to speedrun Wugong Mountain is indeed eye-popping,
but many people remained skeptical.
They grabbed onto this point and started making a fuss. The effect was quite significant. Netizens loved to watch DRA, so they immediately focused their attention here. Dang Lin opened his phone, searching for the accounts Tian Pei mentioned.
My god, is this even human?
The 6DO started with a familiar female voice. Pitch shifted and sped up. A typical marketing Oatsao voice. Less than 90 minutes to speedrun Wugong Mountain. Maybe you don't have a concept of this. Wugong Mountain is 14 kilometers long.
Countless stairs.
Elevation from 600m to over 1900m. The most absurd part is, he was carrying a box of drinks while doing it. After finishing, he still live streamed for an hour like nothing happened. This young man shows no signs of professional training, yet his physical fitness blows away professional athletes.
This world is just too crazy.
Hard to judge. Please, at least act a little bit. If you really had the strength, you'd be winning Olympic gold.
The 6DO ended.
It was interspersed with skeptical comments, handpicked from Dang Lin's calm men section.
Dang Lin noted down this entertainment sister without expression.
He immediately opened several other videos. The scripts were almost identical, lacking any originality.
They were copy-pasted.
The aggression, however, was getting stronger, with marketing accounts leading the charge. Those self-proclaimed media influencers, who are actually experts at leeching traffic,
also appeared like sharks smelling blood.
Compared to the marketing accounts fabrications, they seemed a bit more rigorous.
They retold the shitari with a biased tone, while posting many skeptical comments.
Some even brought in marathon data for comparison. Then there were fitness influencers and running enthusiasts. The most absurd part is,
even ride-hailing drivers were commenting. They couldn't wait to join this traffic frenzy, enjoying the feast.
The comments under these videos were even more unsightly. There are all kinds of monsters out there, treating people like fools. 90 minutes to speedrun Wugong Mountain?
He wouldn't even make it in 900 minutes. Too many fools. I just commented rationally
and got attacked. Good riddance. The live streaming method is too cheap. Fake as can be. If this is real, I'll get hit by a car. Many people hadn't watched the livestream after such deliberate guidance from the internet, plus the 90-minute speedrun claim being beyond their imagination.
They didn't hesitate to believe it was fake.
Of course, there were some viewers who watched the Shitrim, knowing Dang Lin climbed step by step, and spoke up for him. Before long, they were drowned out by insults.
Seeing such high heat,
the experts couldn't sit still either.
They started analyzing Dang Lin's behavior from a scientific perspective.
The final conclusion was always unlikely.
Either he used stimulants,
or the livestream was edited.
One expert even swore, "I think it's more likely he used stimulants."
I carefully watched his videos and livestream clips.
When he was exhausted, it was consistent with human physiology, not faked.
But after drinking a bottle of the beverage,
he recovered his strength in less than a minute.
This is simply impossible for a human to achieve.
The only explanation is that the drink was spiked with stimulants. It fits the characteristics of stimulant use. Next, you just need to watch.
The side effects of stimulants are huge. He definitely won't be able to recover in a short time, and won't dare to appear on camera again, let alone do strenuous exercise.
The expert's words seemed well-founded.
Non-professionals couldn't distinguish the truth.
Lie a heavy hammer, aiming to crush Dang Lin. Even some of Dang Lin's loyal fans started to doubt. Did Dang Lin really take stimulants midway? Or did he use edited live streaming?
The more they thought, the more possible it seemed. Otherwise, how to explain
that Dang Lin became full of energy every time he drank the beverage? He even said it himself,
that his drink didn't have that much effect.
Refund.
You deceived my feelings.
Overwhelming insults swept in,
as if the verdict had already been reached.
In just one afternoon,
the public opinion shifted. In the morning, Dang Lin was worshipped by many.
By the afternoon, he was a street rat everyone wanted to beat. The internet is truly interesting. Dang Lin said to Tian Pei, "These guys are making a lot of sense. Even I'm starting to doubt if I used stimulants." Tian Pei couldn't laugh. Entering the company as the Manhwa's daughter. Backdoor hire, vase, nepotism.
These voices were constant. She also held a breath in her heart,
wanting to prove herself.
Then Dang Lin appeared.
He came with incredible heat. Tian Pei was excited, thinking it was a perfect opportunity.
She quickly presented the data to Manhwa, saying, inviting Dang Lin to participate in the international race would bring great benefits to Wugong Mountain. Manhwa watched the ticket sales rise
and didn't hesitate. He gave Tian Pei a strict order. Since she suggested it, then no matter what, she had to get Dang Lin here.
Unexpectedly, just after signing the contract,
Dang Lin got into trouble.
He stared at Dang Lin for a long time,
knowing full well there were no signs of stimulant use.
Otherwise, he couldn't be looking so normal the next day,
without any changes. But he knew it was useless. Netizens wouldn't buy it. "Teacher Dang, aren't you going to come out and clarify?" Tian Pei looked at Dang Lin.
After copying all the bloggers' IDs into his notes, he closed his phone as if nothing happened.
She was confused.
"No need,"
Dang Lin said indifferently. Tian Pei's lips moved. Her sweet little face fell,
becoming bitter.
Dang Lin didn't care.
But he cared if this continued.
Wugong Mountain is about to get trashed. The hype is real, but it's all negative. He can't handle this at all. "Sign me up for the 100 kilometers individual race," Dang Lin said suddenly. Tian Pei was taken aback. She didn't react for a moment.
Then she understood.
Dang Lin wants to use action to crush the doubt. That is indeed the best way.
But whether Wugong Mountain can handle the pressure is another matter.
Spending a fortune to invite Dang Lin.
He's already under huge pressure. Don't worry. If any problems arise later,
according to the contract, I won't just lose the money. I'll have to pay a PE and TI too. Dang Lin glanced at Tian Pei. Tian Pei heard Dang Lin mention money.
For some reason, she felt strangely calm.
Based on what she knew about him. Once the money is in his oats out, it's basically impossible to pry it out.
If she can act this calm,
it means Dang Lin is absolutely certain. He can keep that money for sure. Tian Pei's heart skipped a beat. Maybe this is a bigger wave of traffic. As long as Dang Lin can turn the situation around, the attention on this race will be unprecedented. The abuse towards Dang Lin continued into the night. More and more people joined in, adding fuel to the fire. That's how the internet works. One second you're being praised, the next you're being spat on by thousands, truly defining heaven and hell in a single thought. Especially after seeing Dang Lin didn't respond. The insults became even more unscrupulous. Suddenly, the Wugong Mountain International Trail Run Talk, a new 6DO caught everyone's attention. The official Oatsal only had a few hundred followers. 6DO likes were in the single digits. Logically, being this dead, it's almost impossible to have a viral 6DO. Yet this 6DO wasn't just popular, it was absolutely exploding.
Just because Dang Lin appeared in it.
In the 6DO, he is signing up
and picking up his race bib.
Number 443, a voiceover rings out. The 8th Wugong Mountain Trail Run is on September 1st. We have invited teacher Dang Lin to compete. He has signed up for the 100 kilometers individual race. Let's look forward to his performance. Meanwhile, the event uses multi-point monitoring, providing full coverage live streaming for viewers. If you love sports, don't miss it. Stay tuned for the event's 6DO. Everyone clicked on the homepage.
They found the blue verification badge. It was actually the official Oatsal, although the 6DO didn't say much.
Standing up at the peak of this controversy, posting a 6DO about Dang Lin, the meaning was already clear. It was subtly backing Dang Lin. Wugong Mountain is really doing this? Trying to cash in on the hate traffic? Huh? Bad publicity is still publicity.
You guys have some real guts.
Don't know what the operations team is doing.
Daring to wade into such muddy waters.
So you're the real traffic-hungry ones. 100 kilometers? He couldn't finish that even on steroids. Still daring to jump around?
I want to see how Wugong Mountain and Dang Lin end this.
It's a rigged game.
Replicate it, break all the doubts.
Then quickly absorb the traffic for a win-win. Aside from the trolls, other netizens couldn't figure it out. At a time like this, why would Wugong Mountain dare to defy public opinion? To invite Dang Lin over? Are they really choosing traffic over their lives? What else could it be?
They worked hard to invite Dang Lin.
Spent 150,000 in big money.
Then the scandal broke right after signing.
The money is already spent.
They have to bite the bullet.
Otherwise, the money is wasted. Once comments lie this came out, sounding so certain, not fake at all. Lie it was leaked from the inside. Netizens suddenly realized that explains everything. Just bad luck. The arrow is on the string. It must be fired. But how will Wugong Mountain end this? In their eyes, Wugong Mountain isn't clean either. If they didn't want the traffic, cutting losses would be the way to go. But they posted a 6DO to back Dang Lin. If you don't get flamed, who will? Wugong Mountain Deputy GM Manhwa was frantic.
He was on the phone with Tian Pei.
Something this big happened. Why didn't you tell me beforehand? Posting the 6DO without authorization. Do you know how much negative impact this has?
They were already quite dissatisfied with the large sum spent.
If things blow up, even your father won't be able to handle it.
He never expected the situation to develop so fast. He felt a bit of regret.
Young people are just too reckless. Can't rely on the youth. Most importantly, Tian Pei is too bold. He was chewed out by the General Manhwa.
Only then did he know what she hid from him.
He and the GM were already at odds.
They argued several times over hiring Dang Lin. Now that they have leverage,
the GM can't wait to get back at him and crush him completely. Uncle 1.
Tianpei felt guilty, but she continued. In private, she didn't have many reservations.
Calling him uncle.
I watched Dang Lin's mountain climbing 60-0.
It really wasn't faked.
At least there was no scene switching in the she trim. What if he took performance enhancers? Wan Shunhua asked. That's also unlikely.
Tianpei argued.
You saw him today.
Does he look like he's on anything?
And the 100 kilometers was his own suggestion. He clearly has confidence in himself.
We have a contract.
If Dang Lin really had a problem with his money-grubbing personality, he wouldn't have agreed so quickly. Wan Shunhua was speechless.
Tianpei had a point. He sighed. Little Tian, you're young.
You don't understand many things. This is all just speculation.
Without concrete evidence. Don't jump to conclusions.
Dang Lin is on his own.
He's got nothing to lose.
But we can't afford to lose if our image is damaged.
It takes years to recover.
We are responsible for the whole scenic area.
Tianpei rolled her eyes.
She caught the loophole in his words.
Uncle Wan, you said it yourself. Don't jump to conclusions without evidence.
Doesn't Dang Lin also lack evidence?
His mountain run is actually more authentic.
So why don't we take a gamble?
If we bet right, our influence will be worth years of work.
The gains far outweigh the risks. Wan Shunhua asked back.
What if we fail?
Have you imagined the consequences?
I trust Dang Lin,
Tianpei said firmly after a pause.
Although they just met, Dang Lin left a deep impression.
I think you just think he's handsome.
He says a few words, and you're completely bewitched.
Wan Shunhua said irritably.
Tianpei blushed. No way, though it's true he's handsome.
She's a sucker for good looks.
But not enough to lose her mind.
To stand against the world for him. That's not being a fangirl, that's being brainless.
Give me Dang Lin's number. The contract must be voided and re-signed. Caution is the key.
Wan Shunhua insisted. The mess Tianpei made.
He has to clean it up himself.
What he didn't expect was,
before he could even call, the other runners started protesting collectively.
I've been running for over 10 years.
You tell me he did 95 minutes?
If he wasn't drugged, I'll retire.
Making us compete with a cheater?
This is unfair to all of us. If he doesn't drop out, we do.
Wan Shuanoa's heart sank.
He thought it couldn't get worse. Now he realized he was too optimistic.
Tianpei really brought him a huge problem.
Uncle Xiong, I really didn't take anything. Dang Lin said helplessly in the gaming hotel. Dang Lin received a call from Xiong Dongyong. Things have blown up so much. Almost everyone knows. Even Xiong Dongyong knows.
Performance enhancers. Not to mention the average person can't get them.
Especially in the country, regulation is strict. Even if used, the side effects are huge.
The damage to the body is permanent. Athletes rely on this to get rankings. Then endorsements follow. Set for life.
Take drugs just to she trim? You'd have to be crazy to do that.
But that's the internet.
Behind the screen, nobody cares about the truth.
Nobody wants to know how many bowls of noodles he ate. They just want to see someone die.
That's all. What? You were too careless this time.
Too obvious. Still inexperienced. I never used them.
Forget it. Don't even think about that stuff.
It doesn't help with that. You're old enough. Just be steady. It's not good for your body.
You can't handle it and I have no source. It's illegal. After some talking,
Dang Lin finally hung up on Xiong Dongyong.
Just hung up. The phone rang again. A strange number. Dang Lin answered.
Wan Shuanoa's voice came through.
Mr. Dang, this is Wan Shunhua. Manajia Wan, what's up? Dang Lin raised an eyebrow, asking while knowing the answer.
Calling so late.
Besides the online public opinion, what else could it be?
Mr. Dang, you've given me a tough problem.
Wan Shunhua smiled.
Dang Lin was calm.
Didn't MS Tian talk to you, Manajia Wan?
These attacks will vanish once the race starts. The key is whether we can make it to the race.
Wan Shunhua said helplessly. My superiors are already pressuring me. It's not settled yet. The other runners aren't het pie. They are all protesting. It's burning my eyebrows.
I feel like there are nails in my chair. I'm about to be bled dry.
Manajia Wan, just speak your mind.
Dang Lin has been around the block. Even if he lacks social skills, he's been tempered.
Wan Shunhua paused for a moment,
then lowered his voice.
Mr. Dang, the contract is signed. I was the one who led it. If you have a problem,
I'm finished too. We are on the same side now.
Grasshoppers on the same rope.
We rise and fall together.
Give me the bottom line today.
What's the deal with your lie she trim?
Dang Lin smiled. What deal could there be?
I climbed it. The scenic area should have footage.
You can see it, right? At this point, I don't think there's a need to hide anything. Being open is good for both of us. I can understand the situation and find a way to handle it.
Wan Shunhua appealed to his emotions.
Your she trim is just getting started. You don't want it to end like this, right? Dang Lin was expressionless. Manajia Wan, what exactly do you want to ask?
Is there any water in this she trim? At this point, Wan Shunhua asked directly.
No. Wan Shunhua was anxious. Mr. Dang, if you talk like this, it's no fun.
I've been so clear. Why? Dang Lin sneered. You want me to admit I faked it, so you can give up?
Wan Shunhua wanted to speak,
but heard Dang Lin's voice.
I just recorded this. Our entire conversation is recorded. Looks like Manajia Wan isn't content either.
Trying to bait me.
Then turn around and join the mob against me and wash your hands of it. This massive traffic, quite the plan you have. Facing Dang Lin's sarcasm, Wan Shunhua broke into a cold sweat.
This kid is so tough.
Such vicious methods at his fingertips. Most importantly, he has countermeasures. Wan Shunhua didn't have such thoughts.
He just wanted to solve this properly. Minimize the impact on Wugong Mountain.
If necessary, make Dang Lin drop out.
He did think traffic is good,
but you have to be able to handle it.
If you can't,
you'll choke.
But Dang Lin recorded it. If these words get out, he'd be finished.
No coming back from that. Wan Shunhua had a headache. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. I knew Dang Lin was tricky. Didn't know he was this tricky. Mr. Dang, you misunderstood.
I never had such thoughts.
Wan Shunhua explained.
It's just that the runners are threatening to quit.
The public opinion is too big. Even I can't handle it.
Dang Lin listened to his anxious tone. He believed him a little.
But not entirely. After being beaten by society.
Dang Lin always assumes the worst of everyone. I can only say my she trim is real.
Otherwise I wouldn't compete. 100 kilometers. Real gold fears no fire.
That's all I have to say. Mana Wan should know how to handle the rest. Wan Shuanua's eyes lit up. If that's true, then there's no problem.
I'll take first in the 100 kilometers.
A massive lead.
Dang Lin said calmly, but filled with great confidence. Wan Shuanhua fell into deep thought.
If Dang Lin can deliver on everything, then as Tian Pei said, everything is an opportunity. Turning pressure into a weapon. Invincible.
Such huge online attention.
Who wouldn't be jealous if he can hold on? Maybe he can drop the deputy title.
Wan Shuanhua chuckled.
Mr. Deng, I trust you, but let's be clear. The contract might need changing. Write what you said into it. Do you have any objections?
No objections. Dang Lin changed the subject.
But the pay needs to change.
Let's go with the PE Nan TI amount.
10 times the pay.
Wan Shuanhua said without thinking, Mr. Deng, that's basically impossible.
I don't have that right.
And I won't do it. Look, when little Tian proposed it, I fought off pressure to approve the 150,000. If problems arise later, I'll have to pay more than 150,000.
That's coming out of my own pocket.
Little Tian also backed you, posted the 60 behind my back,
causing Wugong Mountain to be flamed.
Dang Lin was unmoved, rejected Wan Shuanhua's emotional appeal.
Wan, let's talk business. I'm taking all the risk.
And still taking 150,000?
Do you think that's fair?
Wan Shuanhua retorted, but we are under huge pressure too.
This is a huge gamble. Have you ever seen a gamble where the other side moves first? After hanging up,
Dang Lin sat in his chair,
watching the online chaos. He had no reaction.
Instead, he felt a bit of excitement. He was wondering how to complete the mission perfectly
and get a higher rating.
Just as he was sleepy, someone brought a pillow. Everyone else thinks the backlash is too strong to control.
He thinks it's not enough. Better to let the storm rage harder.
Since that's the case,
Dang Lin looked at the advanced skill book. Then there's no need to keep this book. Please select the skill to upgrade.
Beginner running skill. Dang, advanced skill book used successfully. Beginner running skill upgraded to advanced. Due to running skill proficiency, host has automatically learned beginner parkour.
Dang Lin felt parkour knowledge flooding his brain.
Surprised, a pleasant surprise.
But when he understood the running skill upgrade,
he understood the difference between beginner and advanced.
It's like heaven and earth.
The running posture is deep in his bones,
and without any error.
Reaching the most scientific running form like a machine. Breathing is also freely controlled, plus the experience of countless top athletes.
Dang Lin digested it all. If beginner is an infant learning to walk, then advanced is soaring in the sky. Parkour is derived from running,
crossing obstacles more quickly.
His running skill is already godlike.
So learning parkour isn't hard to understand.
The system just helped him skip the process of getting familiar.
Dang Lin checked his attribute panel. Lifespan increased instead of decreased.
Even his physique improved.
That's reasonable.
Sports are all about stamina,
strong physical fitness, then mastering various sports.
He definitely has an advantage.
If you want to improve in sports,
stamina must improve.
If the foundation isn't solid,
how can the house be tall and stable? 3 days passed in a blink. The heat on Dang Lin gradually faded.
He never responded from start to finish.
Wugong Mountain official Otsel posted the 60-0
and acted like nothing happened,
setting the calm men section to friends only and kept posting promo videos. Netizens couldn't find a place to vent.
They felt bored. In their eyes,
Dang Lin's silence was a confirmation. Often, silence is the answer.
Many people, even after scolding,
forgot about it after a night.
What international trail run?
They don't care.
Until 8 a.m. on September 1st.
Many people woke up,
habitually open TikTok.
The first thing was the Wugong Mountain Lai Shi trim.
Only then did they remember.
Dang Lin was competing too.
Netizens were interested again.
Dang Lin's silence felt like punching cotton.
Not satisfying at all.
They were curious,
wanting to see if Dang Lin would show up.
The Lai Shi trim reached 10,000 viewers.
Still rising.
I did the math.
The audience was waiting for one person. A genius calculator?
I doubt it. He was hammered so hard.
Can he still show up? Not necessarily. Didn't he sign a contract? He had to pay a PE and TI. Wugong Mountain. How would they dare let him come?
Probably cold-shouldered him already.
Comments rolled. The race was as promised.
Full live coverage.
Seeming to know what netizens wanted.
The camera scanned the faces of runners, finally landing on a young figure, wearing a red racing suit, tall,
arms strong and powerful,
muscle lines visible. With that handsome face, he stood out among the crowd.
It was Dang Lin.
Seeing that familiar face,
the Lai Shi trim hit 20,000 viewers.
It exploded.
No way, he really dared to come? Wugong Mountain really has no shame for traffic. Why not make him drop out? Letting a drug user compete with normal people?
Is this fair?
You don't understand. Bad publicity is still publicity. Wugong Mountain. I'm waiting for the backlash to hit you.
A flood of abuse is pouring onto Wugong Mountain. This time, the live stream staff isn't intervening.
The insults are getting worse.
The scene is just as chaotic.
The other contestants, upon seeing Dang Lin, are reacting just as fiercely.
Why is he still allowed to compete? A dark-skinned, lean man steps forward.
He's furious. Where are the organizers? We need an official explanation. How can a doper be allowed to race?
What does that make the rest of us?
His name is Zhong Wenhan. He's the former 100 kilometers individual champion.
He led the protest against them last time too.
He rallied everyone online to pressure the officials.
At first, he just wanted to stop cheaters from ruining the sport.
But after getting a taste of the spotlight,
his motives started to shift. As he speaks, he quietly edges closer to the camera.
If the organizers won't give us an answer,
then nobody should be racing.
Just hand the trophy to him already. Zhong Wenhan points at Dang Lin.
You're all in cahoots anyway.
It's so obvious.
Why go through this pointless charade? You're treating us all like fools.
Once he speaks up,
the other contestants follow, rushing forward.
They're indignantly accusing Dang Lin and the organizers.
Look at that. The backlash has begun.
That cloud isn't so easy to digest, is it? Good, good. Beat the dog while it's down. Wugong Mountain isn't clean either.
What a show to start the morning. Worth it.
Real life is always more entertaining. Any variety show is weak compared to this. Cyberbullying is scary. Glad I'm the one doing it.
The livestream didn't mute the on-site sounds.
Instead, it's broadcasting it all clearly. The viewers see this
and start gloating with delight. They want to see how this ends today. Shenhua watches the chaotic scene,
wiping sweat from his forehead.
He's terrified.
He took a look at the livestream comments,
and in seconds, he's been cursed to death. This is Lai walking a tightrope. He knows it's time for him to step in.
Otherwise, the situation will spiral out of control.
Shenhua takes the mic and walks on stage.
He gestures for everyone to calm down. Everyone, please settle down.
I am Shenhua, Deputy GM of Wugong Mountain. His appearance actually has an effect. The contestants stop,
waiting to see what Shenhua has to say.
Shenhua begins.
The Wugong Mountain International Trail Race has been held 7 times.
This is our 8th year. Here, runners must face the tests of nature and challenge themselves to